Hello, Chinook and Steelhead members. This is your forecast for Sunday, August 8th, 2021. We're getting into the peak part of the season where we should start to see the first strong waves of Chinook come into the B-10 fishery. My plan yet again tomorrow, however, is to go to the ocean. We're going to be looking at another minus tide. The ocean forecast is a 5-foot swell at 8 seconds, which does not excite me. Certainly does not excite me for an early morning bar crossing. The swell and the bar in recent days has been pretty friendly. Of course, we had a lot of wind today, but there really hasn't been kind of a snotty situation to happen on the bar. That may be the case tomorrow. Do your diligence there and either call the Coast Guard or check the buoy report from our web page, our homepage there, buoy report under fishing information. Don't get caught out there when you shouldn't be there. So I can't emphasize that enough. But I'm going to stick with the same sort of plan where I'm going to do an 8 a.m. start, and I'll troll the bottom end of the estuary, either the red line from buoy 12 to buoy 10 or buoy 14 to buoy 12, that area, or the Chinook wing jetties, wherever I have a strong enough current that early in the morning. I think both sides will probably produce opportunities for Chinook at the last trickle of outgoing tide in the morning. And then I'll determine whether I want to stay in the river and try some hover fishing on the stronger incoming tide, either on the Washington or the Oregon side, Hammond on the Oregon side, or the Chinook wing jetties on the Washington side. But by the time I get that figured out, I'll have a good idea of what the ocean is doing as far as bar crossing conditions, as well as the productivity for my guide contacts on the water there that'll be fishing the ocean tomorrow. So my plan is to still head west and go for some quality coho, maybe a Chinook or two if I'm lucky to the north. And I'm going to probably still target about 70 to 85 foot of water due west of the lighthouse. The current has been running from south to north, so it's made for a nice troll to the north. You still got to keep the flashers thumping there. So, and a fast troll seems to produce a better strike to hook ratio as well. So keep it between 2.5 to 3.3 on that troll up there to the north. And the winds are not supposed to be strong whatsoever, but I still get the feeling we're going to have that south to north current, which hasn't really been the case for a good part of the season. So if you do go to the ocean, I would stick to that 70 to 85 foot of water due west of the lighthouse on the north side of the river. Haven't got many reports from the south side of the river. I certainly believe you got a better chance at Chinooks to the north than you do the south. And, coho should certainly be down there on the red line, as has historically been the case, especially this time of year. But it's a different year out of the Columbia estuary, so I'm banking on the north producing again. As far as the river goes, I gave you some indications already. Chinook wing jetties for the hover, Hammond for the hover, the bridge for the hover, the second half of incoming tide. You might want to try that restroom troll on the Washington side. It happens about halfway into the incoming. And then the standard hump troll above the bridge on the Washington side at high tide. The Anchorage did produce biters again last night on the first part of the outgoing, and it should be the same case on the Washington side as well. So I've mentioned this before, but I think it's really going to be any day before we see the first good surge of Chinooks. It could very well happen tomorrow. I think the weather conditions are going to be quite a bit better. I think we had a bit of a low pressure system on top of us today with the rain and the wind from the south. I don't like fishing with that south wind influence. We're not going to have that tomorrow. I think we're in for a little higher pressure ridge, and therefore, I anticipate we'll see stronger catches in the river tomorrow based on weather conditions, and the simple fact that the run timing is due if we are indeed going to see 580,000 Chinook coming to this lower Columbia River. August 8th is a good day to start. So stay safe out there. Thanks again for being a Chinook or Steelhead member. Our app is still in the inner workings of the tech giants. We were hoping to have real-time reports going out to Chinook members by now. Sorry that hasn't happened. It's not our fault. Stay safe. See you on the water. Thanks again, folks.